Hello YouTube, NYC for Andy here. I wanted to try and do something new today. I wanted to try to do something like, is it balanced or is it broken? So I think for the first one I have to do none other than the new card that's pissing pretty much a lot of people off on ladder right now, and it is DR.4, aka the flamewreathed faceless. No one says flamewreathed faceless because it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. So it's DR.4. He's going to be doctor. He's good enough to be a doctor. I don't think there was any other DR.4. I mean, some people considered the Shredder DR.4, but no. The Shredder, I never liked that card, simply because I don't like the RNG like that. So this is the doctor. Shredder was the nurse. Okay? Get it right. This card, yeah. A 4-mana 7/7. I mean, I just want to know what Blizzard was thinking when they came up with this card. Like, seriously, what were they thinking? If you look back in the classic set, there's a card called War Golem. Right? It's a 7-mana 7/7. Okay? It doesn't seem any play because, well, it's actually balanced. But there are better things to play on 7 mana. You know, this card is a 4-mana 7/7. I know you could say, oh, it has 2 overload and blah blah. The overload is irrelevant. With all the new cards that function off the overload and unlock it, Eternal Sentinel and Lava Shock, the 2 overload that you pay for it is irrelevant. Not to mention the fact that it's still turn 4. It's turn 4 and he has a 7/7 on the board. What the fuck can you drop on turn 4 or even turn 5 that can deal with a 7/7? Granted, there's Big Game Hunter. You drop Big Game Hunter. Okay, your opponent goes. They play flamewreathed faceless. Right? For 4 mana. You go turn 5. Right? You drop Big Game Hunter, you got the fun in your sights, right? Okay, yeah. So now it's their turn. It's their turn 5. They Lava Shock your Big Game Hunter and play a 3-drop. What happens? You just spent 5 mana and you still lost the board. You still lost the board. I can't believe that Blizzard would actually make this card. Especially since there's like a cousin to this card and it's called Earth Elemental. Now you don't ever see anyone complaining about Earth Elemental. Reason you don't see anyone complaining about Earth Elemental? Well, it costs 5 mana and has 3 overload. At least on turn 5 you can do something. Right? And not to mention the 3 overload is really a killer. If you play the Earth Elemental on turn 5, you won't have a turn 6. You'll have what is it? The 3 overload, so you'll have 3 mana the next turn. And what really kept Earth Elemental in check was Big Game Hunter. If you ever played a 5 mana 7/8 and it got big gamed on turn 5, you pretty much lost the game because, well, you invested 8 mana into a card that got removed for 3. And you're going to be behind on the board because whatever you play, the big game is going to trade into it. So yeah, DR.4, a 4-mana 7/7. I can't believe I still can't believe that they made it. Knowing all well that they're going to nerf Big Game Hunter. We're going to nerf Big Game Hunter to 5, and you know what? We're just going to make people wish that they never complained about Big Game Hunter and make a 4-mana card that can be Big Game Hunter. I mean, it's ridiculous when you look at it. If you compare it to other cards, alright, you have War Golem, which is a 7-mana 7/7. You have Earth Elemental, which is a 5-mana 7/8 with an overload of 3, so technically it's 8 mana. So technically that costs more than War Golem. Now, Fel Reaver was a 5 mana 8/8. But Fel Reaver had a huge downside. If you could not kill your opponent right away with Fel Reaver, you lost your entire deck. Okay? That doesn't happen with this 4 mana 7/7. You know what? There's not even a bad side about it. I really, there's no bad side to playing this card. And the thing is, it fits in pretty much all the Shaman decks. Most notably, the aggressive ones, the very aggressive ones. It doesn't really work that well if you put it in the evolution ones, well, because most 5 mana cards aren't 7/7s. Pretty much, I don't think there are any 5 mana 7/7s. Technically, there could be one. You can get a validated Doomsayer, right? Which, if you even look at that card, it's a 5 mana 0/7. 5 mana 0/7. Right? They made that. But then they made a 4 mana 7/7. What the fuck? Really? So for something that just dies for free, you're charging me 5 mana. But for something that is gonna rip my opponent a new asshole, you're charging me 4. Where's the logic in that? I don't know. I really think it is broken. I hope you guys agree with me. I know there are going to be the trolls that say, oh no, it's balanced. I mean, I know Shamans did need a good card, and I know they needed something that was balanced and like maybe slightly OP, so it would actually incentivize people to play Shaman. But this is ridiculous. Anyway, guys, like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it.